my sister was in from Indianapolis, and she was coming in, and I said, oh, you know Judy, my sister? And he said, no, I don't think I know her. I know your brother, but I don't know her. And so I introduced him. Well, that just thrilled her to death, you know. But anyway, I said, oh, do you want the picture? He said, yeah. And I said, well, it's right in here, but it's something I want to show you before you. He said, Miss Joan, I ain't got time. I got to be in Atlanta and then be back in Portland by 7 or 8 o'clock, you know. And I said, no, you're not leaving until I show you something. So I carried him down at the end of the hall on our stairwell and showed him some of the pictures, you know, of his that I had. But I was having some more framed and still like one more. I want to get them all and then take them down and then regroup them. Mm-hmm. And I said, now when I get it all done, I want you to come out and look at them. He said, well, I will. And I called him about our anniversary. I said, are you going to be in town? And he said, yeah. But his son heard him talk and said, Dad said, we're going to be in Canada. You won't be here. And he said, oh, he said, I forgot we're going to be in Canada. And I said, well, you know what? I was going to ask you. He said, no, what? I said, I was going to see if you would sing Older Women at our anniversary. He said, well, I would have. And I said, well, do you think they'd kick us out of the church? You singing the Older Women in the church. But I said, it's in the gymnasium, so I don't think they would make any difference. So it just goes on and on with our stories.
He is a first-class guy. I met him when he was singing in Nashville, and this was before, you know, Elvis passed away, and then he did the song, you know, after
the King
is gone. Which was fantastic. And that, you know, that kind of really put him on the map.
It did.
But he could sing and mimic his voice better than anybody
He could.
He was the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hardly tell the difference.
You
sometimes.
cannot tell the difference. Now, you know, he didn't do the show and all that stuff like, you know, dress up and all that kind of stuff like some of them do. But as far as the voice, you couldn't beat it. And so I had met him when he was singing in Nashville before he kind of became famous. And then after that, he just skyrocketed, really took off and stayed busy, I guess, ever since.
And he and Conway Twitty, Conway kind of helped him too, you know.
And I didn't know until I saw his paintings. Oh man, he is really good.
He's got a contract.
He is very good
with Walt Disney, and we got one. That got the film, and they're a lot more expensive than the ones that he paints.
Yeah, I had no idea that he could even do that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just a gift.
It is.
Donald kind of got ill with me that day that he came, you know, and was in a hurry. And he told me about this when he had a limited edition of the Walt Disney. And I said, well, what's in it? And he said, well, it's got Walt Disney and it's got Ed Sullivan, you know, Ed Sullivan show used to be, and he named one or two, and I said, well, I want one. Well, and then he said, okay, he said, I'll save one, but no, there's not very many. And I said, well, how much would it cost? And he said, $300, and I said, $300? He said, and I'd already told him I wanted one. No. I didn't even tell you about it, did I, until it
It's not a week till I find out.
What's the first cousin price? Yeah, give me your cousin price or something, you know.
It come, when we got home from somewhere, it was this long box and it was square. And I said, well, wonder what this is. And somebody else had left us a pie or something on it. And so I picked it up and I saw Jim Calloway and it had something about running. I thought, oh my gosh. Now I'll have to tell him, you know. So
and got caught.
I did, but I didn't open it right then. And he said, but when I did, he said, you paid $300 for that? And I said, well, it's a limited edition. And so
then go with all the others.
Yeah. So then I had it framed and had me framed. You know where I get my framing done? Teresa's, down at Teresa's.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty good. And well, she's done them all. They're all got the same name. What you call matting and frame. They're not expensive looking frames. They're just plain old like iron.
But they'll be worth some good money one of these days. you know, and especially you having all the rest of them, you know,
We got just about.
so
Uh,
that'd be good. That'd be a good thing.
Ronnie's supposed to be signing the one with George Jones on that tractor.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't a George Jones fan, but Donald liked it. And we was at something, and they had an auction. And he said, "You want that one?" I said, "No." So we didn't get it. We'll come find out here a while back. He said, "That's one he'd like to have." I said, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" So now we're getting it, just waiting for Ronnie to autograph it, then I'll bring it up there, Teresa, put it in a frame, and that'll be all I'm gonna get. I promise that'll be all I'm gonna get.
We was down in Russell Williams for camping one time, and Joe Jones was playing, so we got some tickets. And I thought it was gonna be a no-show then, but he might have showed up.
He did show up.
About an hour and a half.
He definitely has some very talented songwriters.
He did.
Whoever does his writing
Yeah.
is very talented.
And he's good. I don't know what it is about the reason. I like him, but he's just not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad we're going to get it. And you know have you seen the painting of Shell City Cafe that he's done?
Is that Sophie's place up there in Portland?
Oh, it's down there by
Sophie
Shell
Craft.
City. Yeah, yeah.
Sophie Crafton's
Yeah,
place
that's
up
where
there.
that's close to where it used to be, so
Yeah.
down there, so.
Well, you know, it wasn't many places in Portland, indeed, Shell City Cafe, which Lorraine Carruthers run it, and she had the best hamburgers, it's that big. Well, we'd go down there and eat. I think there was a Dairy Queen too. And we couldn't afford one apiece, so we'd get one and try to, I think, just break it
I
off.
know where you're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got
I
that
remember
one.
that being there.
And we got that.
Yeah.
You'll have to come out and visit with us, and we'll show you what we've got. I'm wanting Brett and Jake to come out, you know, they're tall,
Oh, yeah.
one day, and get them up one. Just as soon as I get this one done of George Jones, I'll have them all.
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be good. Yeah,
And
Brett.
get up, I got some small antique cars. I got the first 4 years I made Cadillacs in 1903 and 4, 5, and 6. I got an old Sears Roebuck.
That one's mine, the Sears Roebuck.
Okay.
The others are his.
Man, that's awesome. That's neat.
Well, how come I call it mine? We went down, was it Houston, Texas? And this lawyer was, or doctor.
He was a doctor.
Yeah, and he was having a big sale, I think he got his.
He was still had a good practice, but he invested some property down in South America and he'd gone sour and he had to file for bankruptcy, so had to sell all this.
So Donald kept bidding, and then, so that's it.
So you got the cars.
Yeah, I got the Sears Roebuck there.
Now what does that mean? Sears Roebuck?
It's called a Sears motor buggy, and you order them out of the catalog, Sears
Looks
Roebuck
like a
catalog,
buggy.
and they come in a crate. They were $375, and we got one of the first ones. It's a 08 model, and you got it with a tilt.
Oh, okay.
And it's got buggy wheels on it. It's got a nameplate, Sears motor buggy, and it looks more like a buggy than it does a car.
Yeah.
But it had a little 2-cylinder motor in it, and it had a flop wheel. I think it's a lot more like that. And the further you go out, the faster it goes, and you come back across center and push in on a lever, it goes backwards. So that's the transmission.
Okay.
Well, how come
That's
he
pretty neat.
almost didn't get it? He said, "That's it, I'm not going any higher." I said, "Oh, you've got to bid one more time."
Yeah, you come this far, you just
He
will
said,
go all the
"One
way.
more time," and then he got it. So that's the reason I call it mine, the rest of them are his. We've got them out of Fence Rows, up in New Hampshire, we got old car, that was the burnished one,
No, that was old Cadillac.
the Cadillac.
Where we got started on these, our son, you know, when in the 70s, he liked the Muppets, and I like the Lost. I mean, he started going with me when he was 2 years old, and you know, and I like to go crazy, and I started getting those cars, getting mine off them.
Yeah.
And so we got them in the early 70s, all of them.
And
That's
he
pretty
ordered
neat.
this Boss, what one was it,
It's a 7-model Boss
302?
302, and it was a collector's item.
Mustang.
Yeah.
We had a fire in '99 and burnt the car and all of it, but I was stored old antiques, but the roof fell in on that Boss, but we was keeping it because of his, though it was a collector's item, but we were just keeping it because it was his.
Yeah.
He just had 24,000 miles on it.
Well, I started out driving the Boss home for from down there, was it Big Jenkins
No,
somewhere?
it's George Busby's
George
out.
Busby.